Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Well, now at 6, a child is in the hospital right now after police say this small table-designed fire pit burned her. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. This happened in Windsor Locks. The little girl is only 3 years old. She is expected to recover.
Fox 61's Alicia Hercules spoke with a fire marshal about safety tips you need to follow to protect yourself and others this summer.
Although the fire pit that was used was a small tabletop fire pit, Bethany Fire Marshal Stephen Sousa says all fire pits need to be heavily monitored, especially if children or animals are around. The father of the 3-year-old girl told police that when he lit the tabletop fire pit, a gust of wind blew flames towards the girl. She suffered first and second-degree burns to her face, chest, and arms. Her parents were also hurt. Stephen Sousa, a fire marshal in Bethany, says that with the weather getting warmer, more people will be using fire pits. And while they can be fun, Sousa says people need to follow important safety tips to protect everyone in the area of the fire pit.
Fire, regardless of what size it is dangerous. It doesn't take much to get something ignited once there's a fire going.
Sousa says it's also important to always have emergency supplies nearby in case the fire gets out of control.
Make sure you have water or a hose nearby, so if the fire starts to get out of control on a windy day or something like that, you can easily put it out or at least douse it down enough that it's safe.
He says a spark arrestor or a metal screen is also good to keep handy. It prevents sparks from flying out of the pit that could start fires.
Key is keep the fire small, keep it comfortable, supervise the children when they're around it. Always make sure that somebody's near the fire when it's burning, that it's not left unattended.
For more fire pit safety tips, you can find this story on our website, fox61.com. In Bethany, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Breaking news now in Hartford. There's an active police investigation happening right now at MLK Middle School. Hartford police tell us a BB gun may have been reported inside the school, but they haven't found one yet. The school was put into lockdown and eventually everyone had to evacuate. Our crew's there talking with parents outside the school. We'll keep you updated as soon as we learn more.
Students and staff in Colchester will have a delayed start to the school week. An electrical problem at Colchester Elementary School prompted a 2-hour delay at all Colchester public schools. Some students will even have classes at different buildings because of the mechanical mishap. The district says something in the server room at Colchester Elementary overheated and caused an electrical device to fail. Colchester Public Schools leaders were made aware of a possible fire at Colchester Elementary yesterday around 11:30 in the morning. Colchester Fire and EMS found an electrical device in the main switchgear failed and damaged the electrical meter. Now, school officials say power to the building was quickly shut off, but a significant amount of smoke filled the server room and nearby areas. At this time, school officials say Colchester Elementary could shut down for 1 to 3 days before they get the all clear to let students back inside the building. Now take a look at this video from our Fox 61 crew. Teachers had to move classroom items into the Jack Jackner Intermediate School and the William J. Johnston Middle School. Both schools are within walking distance of Colchester Elementary. Colchester Elementary kindergarten and first grade students will be housed at Jack Jackner Intermediate School, and CES second graders will go to the William J. Johnston Middle School. The elementary schools, nursing, M&J, and food services have been told they will go wherever they are needed to help students who are moved to alternate locations.
All right, let's turn things over to weather. It was much chillier today than it was last week, and over the weekend, at least, gosh, Saturday was just downright humid and warm out there.
Yeah, Rachel was telling us a little earlier how chilly it was going to get this week, and my heart sank. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now to tell us all about it. Rach?
Yeah, temperatures will be up to 20 degrees below average later this week. So this is a cooler week overall, but especially on Thursday when a late season nor'easter will be moving in. We're talking about heavy rain, gusty winds, and just overall unpleasantness as we head head through the end of the week. But for tomorrow, we're dry for one more day. I think while temperatures will be similar, we'll see more cloud cover building in. Here's a look at those top gusts right now, anywhere between 25 to about 30 miles an hour. So not enough wind to cause damage, but certainly enough to add an extra chill to the air. And that wind is making a big difference in temperatures because it's actually warmer along the shoreline than it is in inland Connecticut. Usually this time of year, it's flip-flopped because the wind is coming off of Long Island Sound, but that is not the case today. We will see more clouds tomorrow as this disturbance brings a little bit of moisture close to us. I don't think we'll see any showers though. Low temperatures tonight will be falling back into the 40s inland, near 50 for the Connecticut shoreline. And tomorrow, after a bright start to the day, we'll see increasing clouds. High temperatures will be in the 60s and again below average, but not as cool as later this week. We'll take another look. Your full forecast is coming up in just a bit.
Well, city leaders in New Haven want to bring out the cameras, hoping they will catch drivers who aren't stopping for school buses with flashing lights.
Yeah, Fox 61's Raven Blue has more on what's next in the process.
New Haven school bus drivers will soon have a new tool to help keep the kids on their school buses safe and make sure that they make it to school and back home in one piece.
Our drivers usually they blow on the horn, they'll call it into dispatch and let us know. They'll try to get the plate number.
Michael McDaniel, location manager with First Student School Bus Company, says his drivers are frustrated with people who don't stop for school buses. He says it makes their jobs even more difficult.
Their jobs entail safety as the first and foremost thing that they have to do. And when they have to concentrate on those vehicles coming down the road and run those lights, and there's no repercussions for that, that frustrates them because they're trying to do their best to keep their students safe.
Their frustration could soon be relieved thanks to a newly proposed legislation to put stop sign cameras on school buses in New Haven. The move aims to hold drivers accountable. It's a problem Fox 61 has reported on before and affects school districts across the state.
When we do our safety meetings, we show them videos of near misses and things like that. So these things do happen throughout the country.
If New Haven is anything like our sister city over in Bridgeport in their first 6 months of operation of this program saw around 10,000 people violating the law, which is an astounding number of people driving through these bus stop signs.
Drivers caught driving past a stopped school bus with its stop signs out will receive a $250 ticket, similar to one that you would receive for running a red light.
The footage will be reviewed by a city representative and another individual to make sure that we are properly levying these fines on people.
When initiatives like this take place, it's a wonderful thing that we can partner with a city to do that.
Officials will submit the proposal to the Board of Alders Monday evening to begin the process for public hearings and approval. In New Haven, Raven Blue, Fox 61.
All right, Raven, thank you. Looking ahead to the evening now, in the next hour, the town of Bethany will have its annual town hall meeting, and we got our hands on the agenda. It says town officials will only be talking about the budget and not about the sexual abuse report that was released last week. Well, now community members, as a result of that report, are demanding the first select woman step down. And coming up in the next 30 minutes, Fox 61's Kay Pattyfoot will join us to tell us more about the report before she heads into that meeting.
Pratt & Whitney workers are on week 3 of their strike in Middletown and East Hartford, and we're told their benefits are set to expire today. Fox 61's working to get more information about this. The International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers tell us they will return to the bargaining table on Thursday. Workers say they want a fair contract with more pay and greater job security. We'll keep you updated as the strike carries on this week.
And workers at General Dynamics Electric Boat did not walk off the job this morning. A last-minute tentative deal was reached between members of the Marine Draftsmen Association Union and the submarine manufacturer just before 10 p.m. last night. It will now go to the members for a vote, which will happen at a later date. The union says the negotiated deal would result in a huge wage increase, which is what they were fighting for. And today, Senator Richard Blumenthal said this tentative agreement is a step in the right direction.
And thousands of nursing home and group home workers are warning state leaders they'll go on strike next week if their needs are not met in contract negotiations. They delivered their strike authorizations to the governor's office earlier this month, demanding higher wages. Workers we talked to today say they make $18 an hour, but they want to be paid $30 an hour. An Oak Hill School paraeducator in Plainville says she's desperate for economic relief.
We do it all, and then we go home and struggle to pay our bills, to put food in our fridge, and in some cases to keep ourselves in our homes. I told the governor's staff about my own personal story, spending a year living in my car with my daughter. We are now living with my mother now, but I don't even make enough to afford to live in my own apartment. It's not possible when you're making only $18 to $20 an hour.
8,000 union workers from 51 nursing homes and 6 group home agencies say they will form a picket line on May 27th if a contract is not agreed upon.
Well, another student faces charges after police say they put a pencil into a laptop. This time it happened in Wallingford and no one got hurt. A dangerous TikTok trend is inspiring students to put paper clips and pens to spark fires on their school-issued laptops. 2 Southington teens have been charged. Police are asking parents to talk with their kids about the risks of this trend. They're also warning students they will face legal consequences. It's unclear how old the Wallingford student is or which student this happened at, which school this happened at, and they face criminal mischief and conspiracy to commit reckless burning charges.
New Haven police identified the woman who died after she crashed into a tree on Saturday. Police say 25-year-old Shaquaza Morris crashed into a tree just before 2 in the morning near Shelton Avenue and Gibbs Street. Investigators say she drove over a speed bump, swerved, and then crashed into a tree. She died at the hospital. We're told there were no other cars involved.
A motorcyclist is dead and 4 others hurt in back-to-back crashes in Thomaston. Officials were called to Waterbury Road around 5:30 in the afternoon yesterday. Police say an SUV and a motorcycle crashed first, and as a result of that crash, another motorcycle with a driver and passenger crashed. The driver of the first motorcycle died. And state police are now investigating.
We have an update on the missing hiker in Colchester. They have been found. We're told Deep found them around 7 last night. The hiker found their own way out of Day Pond State Park and were heading home. They were first reported missing 3 hours before.